What is going on, guys? It's Richardini here without a beard, and I'm back to continue the journey to National Master here on the channel. It's been a while, but I found some interesting chess again, and I want to keep updating you guys with my journey and my game. So let's see. So this is the last round of Open Game of the Fetus. I left on the round 6, I think, of the tournament, where I had a very tough loss, and this was the last round that was played in the same day in the afternoon. So let's see. I got paired up against Adam. I'm not gonna try to pronounce his last name, I don't know, but yeah, he's a very underrated kid. I don't know at this point. This was played in April 2024, this game, so I don't know what his rating is right now, but I bet that if he kept playing, he's probably already like 1800 at least, I would say, but I don't know. But yeah, I started the game with e4. I didn't have any time to prepare. My opponent didn't really have that many games online, so c6, he played the Caro-Kann, I went d4, he went d5, and I decided to go for the exchange Caro-Kann, keeping it simple. I was very tired from the round earlier, and I just wanted to something simple to play, you know. He played knight c6, I played c3, knight f6, and I guess like the main line here is probably bishop f4. At least that's what I remember from playing the black side of the exchange Caro-Kann, but I decided to go h3. I guess it's also a line. I don't really remember why I decided to go h3, but I knew that it was a move, decent move. Here, my opponent went g6, which I know this setup from the black side. He wants to play bishop f5, and he doesn't care about the double pawns. It can use the g file in the future, or just keep it simple with still castling king side. So here I went knight f3, and now my opponent went bishop f5 as I expected, and I decided to play bishop e2. Why bishop e2? That's a good question. I remember watching a video about the exchange Caro-Kann, and like the guy was a GM. He was suggesting this bishop e2 move, talking like that it was a very like nice move and trendy move, you know. And I guess the idea was that this bishop on f5 is kind of misplaced, and in the future you can get it by g4 or knight h4, blah blah blah. I don't know. Like, to me, I mean, if it was today and I got this position, I would probably just take. I know that this is not like brilliant for white, but it's I guess it's just the most straightforward way to play. You castle, you just have to handle this position, or maybe I could just even play 95. But yeah, I already didn't know what I was doing here, and I decided to play bishop e2. It's okay, it's not the end of the world. My opponent just kept developing normally. Bishop g7, I castled, he castled, and now I think I played a bad move, knight bd2. Why do I think this is a bad move looking at it now? I mean, I'm just blocking my bishop, and knight bd2, like I can easily just play bishop f4. I'm trying to delay black from playing e5. This is the break that black wants to get, so bishop f4 makes a lot of sense. Put this bishop on this nice diagonal, and yeah, I guess I never have to be worried about like knight h5s. I can always drop my bishop to h2, and yeah, this knight is just misplaced. I'm threatening g4, so yeah, I don't know why I decided to start with knight bd2. For me, it doesn't make sense at all to just block this bishop here on b2. I guess like maybe I was worried about this, but I'm pretty sure I can play queen b3 and I'm fine. If we go into this end game, I mean, there's nothing here to be worried about as white, and yeah, I don't know, but okay, I play knight bd2. It's not the end of the world, it's just weird, just a weird move to make. Here my opponent plays rook e8, and for some reason, like, I knew that he wants to play e5, but I was starting to like stress a lot. I was spending so much time, and I was already like, oh my god, what am I doing? I have no idea what I want to do in this position. Like, my opponent is playing fast, He's playing confident. He's a little kid, bro. Am I like, I don't want to lose this round? Like, goddamn, bro, the tournament was going so well. It's like, damn, bro, what am I doing? And I was starting to just like stress. I don't know. I felt like I just wanted. I didn't want to be there, but I had to. And after a while, I played knight b3, and yeah, I don't know. Like, just this knight on b3 just looks bad, but at the same time, I need to develop my bishop. My opponent went knight e4, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I already like black position a little bit more. It feels like black's position is more active, and he has like a clear plan of pushing e5, and it's kind of impossible to stop right now. I guess he can do it whenever he feels like. I played knight g5, which looks like a weird move, but at least I'm trying to contest this very strong knight on e4. And looking back at it, I feel like it was a good practical try, although here my opponent can already play e5, and he probably has a good position here. But he trades here on g5. I develop my bishop finally, and now he plays h6. I play bishop h4, still trying to use this pin so he can't push e5. And if he plays g5, okay, like he's weakening his king side, so maybe I have some counterplay. My opponent went queen b6, which makes sense. He wants to unpin and play e5 here. I decided to play bishop d3. I don't know, like, the engine says it's a bad move once a5, once a4 actually, to stop my opponent from going a5, a4. Makes sense. But here I just felt like this bishop was way stronger than this bishop, and I decided to trade it. He trades, and he plays g5 here. I play bishop g3, and now he plays rook a8. I really thought that he was just gonna go for it with e5 here, but he didn't go for e5. He decided to prepare it even more. Maybe he was afraid that this pawn would fall or be weak. And here, after rook a8, I decided to go h4. And I think this is a very good move, actually, thinking back at it, because my opponent has a simple plan of going e5 and just opening the position for his bishop. His knight is also coming in. These rooks are going to be well placed once e5 gets pushed. And I decided to just complicate things and distract him from playing e5. With h4, it's kind of like trying to play against these extended pawns here and trying to, scare him from playing e5. And it actually worked in a way. He got a little bit, distracted from this h4 move, and he actually took, which apparently it's a very bad move for black to allow this this exchange. And okay, it makes sense now that I'm looking at it, because now the pawn is pinned again, which is kind of funny. And my opponent plays rook d6, and here, like, we were starting to get lower on the clock, and the position is starting to get very sharp. This rook is coming to g6, and I wasn't really happy about this position, because even though I wanted to create some imbalances, like, I just didn't have the energy to be calculating tough variations. But okay, here the engine screams out the move f4, which makes a lot of sense. Like, with f4 now, this pawn is never coming to e5, and black is not really getting what he wants. I mean, f6, he might try that to play e5, but nah, this weakens the light squares too much, and my queen is ready to jump in. So, but yeah, here, I mean, after rook g6, yeah, the position is very scary. I'm also opening my king up. This bishop is a little bit loose here. But yeah, here the engine already wants, like, just me to just push f5, and yeah, it's a very complicated position. And after rook d6, I ended up playing king h1, a little bit of a prophylactic move and a bit of a waiting move, trying to play against this rook coming here to the g file. After rook g6, I decided to play queen f3, and yeah, my opponent played e6, which I was happy to see. I think e5 would have been tougher to react to, because all of a sudden, if I take here, my opponent's pieces are jumping in, and it's very scary. I guess I can play rook ae1, but still I have to deal with e4, and now this pawn, you know, is very dangerous. So it would be a very sharp position. But when my opponent played e6, I got happy. I was happy because this is a little bit more tame, and I guess easier to deal with. Here I played rook fe1, just putting the rook on this file. My opponent played knight e7, and here, you know, I think I made a very good decision of chopping the knight, because if I allow knight f5, this bishop is going to be useless, and this knight is going to be very dangerous on f5, so I just took it, and we get this middle game position, which is quite interesting. I played king g1. I don't understand this king g1 move, honestly. It's a bit of a weird move, but okay. Here my opponent played a5 with the threat of going a4 and then chopping on b2, so I decided to just defend it with rook e2. My opponent decided to play rook f6. I played queen g3, and my opponent here played queen b5, which, yeah, I mean, it attacks the rook on e2, but it's really easy to deal with this with a very natural rook ae1, and now I doubled my rooks, and I'm putting pressure on the e file. So yeah, my position suddenly is becoming good. My opponent plays b6, another move that I didn't really understand. I guess he wants to move the queen without hanging on a5, but now it allows me to play knight c1, and all of a sudden my knight is jumping back into the game to very good squares. And here, a decision that I now probably regret, looking at the position with clear eyes. He played rook g6, I played queen f3, rook f6, queen g3, and we repeated position, and we agreed to a draw. Of course, here I think my opponent realized that I was better, and you know, I also thought that I was a little bit better, but as I said, like, you know, I was very much tired, and like I just wanted to get the game over with. I could have just played on with queen h3, and now I'm threatening knight d3, knight e5 maybe. These pieces are generally worse than these pieces. Like, e is lacking a little bit of coordination. I'm not winning or anything like that, I'm just much better, and I could just keep playing and trying something. But yeah, I decided to just take the draw and just go home, and not worry about chess for a while, and that's what I did. So yeah, that's how the last game ended. Very, you know, anticlimactic end of the tournament, but it was still a nice tournament where I ended up, you know, scoring my best win and gaining a lot of rating points. So I was overall happy, even though the last two rounds were very bad compared to the rest of the tournament. But okay, this was the Open Game of the Fittest, and next episode I'll keep going with the games. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye bye.